Hello everybody and welcome back to a very overdue episode of Crazy Tech Reviews. And in today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit different that I haven't done in quite a while, and that is an unboxing video. Now, this item here is actually an old black and white portable television, and the reason this struck me as pretty interesting was because I actually happen to already own pretty much the exact same television here. Now, of course, this one here happens to be a white model and it's by a different brand because all of these sort of televisions, these designs from sort of the late 90s, early 2000s were all manufactured and then rebranded depending on who was selling it. So it's actually kind of interesting because V Westlife actually did a video on these a while ago. But basically these were just some sort of cheap, no-name sort of televisions from the late 90s. And I've owned this one for about 3 or 4 years already, actually before I even started my YouTube channel. And this was actually part of one of my first videos on it. So I sort of have, I want to say, like a sentimental connection to this television, but the main reason I bought this one was because it's kind of neat to see one of these all in the original packaging, and this is literally in all of the original packaging. I opened it up because there was no tape on it or anything, but I opened up the plastic or the box here, and everything's still like in the original packing material. So I figured I'd like to sort of take a look at this on the channel and sort of unbox it and see what one of these would have looked like new out of the box with all the original accessories and everything. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right to this unboxing video here. Okay, so here is the television itself that we're going to be unboxing. First of all, just the box itself here, if we take a look at it, it seems pretty standard for like something you would buy, like electronic sort of novelty device. You buy it like Walmart or a similar store like that. The front here, as you can see, just says 5.5-inch black and white television with video monitor and AM/FM radio. On the side here, it just says some of the specifications of it. You know, pretty simple, and that's basically just the same. I mean, it's pretty stereotypical of like your cheap sort of electronics packaging or like late 90s, early 2000s sort of AV equipment. But as you can see, what's crazy here is that it looks like somebody just bought this and like never actually did anything with it, because everything is pretty much still all packed up. Now, of course, somebody could have put this stuff back in here after using it, but it doesn't look like it was ever used. It looks literally like it's brand new. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. And again, about the most I've ever opened this up was just removing the manual maybe and looking in there to make sure everything was in there. But first of all, on the topic of the manual, this here appears to be the original instruction manual for this particular model of these televisions here. As you can see, it's very elaborate. It's an entire 3 pages long. There's a lot to read. I'm not even sure if I can read all this. There's just so much there, you know. Okay, the cat was screaming out there for some reason. I don't have any idea what that was about. Anyway, as you can see here, the entire back page is just dedicated to caution information and stuff, which is kind of funny. Honestly, there isn't really much interesting here, so moving on to the television itself. One of the things I find really cool sort of about how this television is packaged here is, if you look, they actually, just to save, I guess, extra space when they were importing these, or just in the packaging, they literally tuck the power supply like inside of the handle on these televisions, because it's got a little carrying handle right here, and they actually tuck the power supply into that, which is kind of cool. It's kind of neat to see them packaging it cleverly like that. As for this power supply, as you can see, it's still wrapped up and everything. It does not look like this was ever opened. As you can see, it's just a simple 12-volt, 850 milliamp power supply. I do not actually have the original one to the television I own. I just got the television, but I happen to luckily have a proper power supply for it. But this is the original power supply that one of these would have used, probably. It appears to be the same as the one I've used with that one, but I'm really glad to have the original one now. That's kind of nice. Next up here, kind of tucked down into this handle here, it appears to be the, oh, okay. Well, I guess that, So it looks like what they tried to cram in here was apparently an adapter so that you could run this off of like a car, cigarette lighter port or whatever. And then they also have what looks to be like your standard twin lead. Yeah, I think that's what this is. So this is just a standard twin lead RF output or whatever it's called. Okay, so as far as I can tell, that appears to be everything as far as accessories go. So at this point, it's time we just, I guess, have to go ahead and lift the entire television out of here, which not really sure. I think it just simply lifts straight out like so. Don't want to damage the foam or anything. I mean, I wouldn't say, of course, that this is anything particularly valuable, but I'd still like to keep it in good condition, obviously. Alright, so, oh, this is gonna get styrofoam everywhere. Let me try to keep this in the box. Alright, so there it is. Brand new. Looks really cool. I have to admit, I really like the black aesthetic of it. Yeah, so this looks really good. I do not think this has ever been taken out of the shrink wrap. As you can see, though, it isn't really sealed, so it's kind of hard to tell. So, alright, well, let's do what I guess is the first reveal of this television ever. Wow. Yeah, so there you go. I am noticing just a few differences between this one and mine. Again, these obviously aren't the most expensive, well-built products in the world, so the tuning is a little bit weird. But I was expecting that because the same way of mine. One other thing here, I noticed that the actual tuning knob itself looks a little bit different, so maybe different manufacturers use different designs. And also, mine's a little bit jacked too right now. Oh, I gotta fix that. Should go all the way up and down. And same for this one too. So, actually, yeah, it looks like it's in pretty good condition, but yeah, yep, there does appear to be a protective plastic coating on here. There we go. Oh. Okay, well that was, oh! So yeah, that was pretty unsatisfying. It actually peeled the sticker up again. You can see these things aren't built the best. As a matter of fact, I'd actually go as far as to say here, while we have both of these right next to each other, I think this one might actually be a cheaper built one than the one I already have. Of course, it's in better condition because it's never been used, but I feel like this one might have been built a little bit better, possibly. But again, you never really know. I also just noticed there are still some slight differences here, like the bezel on this one, and actually the entire tint of the phosphor on the screens are a little bit different. So these aren't exactly identical, but for the most part, both of these televisions are pretty similar. So yeah, anyway, I'm really glad to have another one of these televisions. While they're not probably the best quality, it doesn't really matter because I'm probably going to end up maybe composite modding this one as well, and if not, I'm going to be using the external input anyway. So, at this point, I figure it's probably about time where we open up this power supply here, which is still in the original plastic. Actually, this looks like some kind of packing tape, so maybe somebody put this back in. I'm not really sure. I mean, it is really kind of hard with things like this to know if it was actually packed or ever opened or not, or if it even really matters. I mean, I don't really think it matters. It's still an interesting tech item and still an interesting unboxing. So, yeah, I have to say, this power supply is definitely very heavy. Let's go ahead and turn it on for probably what I'm going to guess is the first time. Yeah, it seems just about like how my other one works, and as you can see, we do in fact get an image on the screen. And I'll go as far as to say as it seems like a lot clearer and a lot higher refresh rate than my television has. As a matter of fact, we can even go as far as to actually unplug this, plug it into my television, turn this one on. Yep, there we go. It was on the wrong power mode. But yeah, as you can see, this one here, it has a lot lower frame rate than this television does. So, see if I turn this one on, it's going to flicker a lot less on camera. And that makes me wonder, honestly, if this one's actually defective to some extent, or if it has some issue over time, or if this one was just better built in that regard. Of course, neither of these are very good quality, as we literally have seen demonstrated to us multiple times in this video, straight out of the box in the case of this one. But that doesn't really matter because, you know, these are 5-inch televisions. You could carry them around with you easily, and for most cases, these work just fine. I mean, I've had this one for 4 years. It still works. I've never really run into too many issues. I mean, of course, the quality's not the best, but if you just want to plug something in and test something quickly, this works perfectly for that. And same with this. And I could imagine these would have been pretty interesting too back in the day. I mean, of course, most people probably didn't use them more than once, but either way, it was still a really fun experience to get to unbox one of these brand new. And just see what the experience would have been like and to share it with you guys. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for this unboxing video. It was very neat to take a look at this brand new, pretty much portable television here from about 20 years ago and see how it was packed and everything, and open it up and see this fresh, clean, brand new example of what this would have looked like back in the day. Of course, I mean, these aren't very high quality televisions. I mentioned that multiple times in this video, so don't think that these are worth anything or that you should necessarily go out and buy one yourself. I just found this at a thrift store, both of these actually, and I thought it was cool, so I bought it. And different people will have different opinions on what they think these are worth to them. I honestly find them to be pretty useful in some cases. But yeah, that's pretty much it regarding the televisions. As far as the year goes, there's only about a week left of 2021, and I do know I have plans to get one more video out before Christmas, and that should be the second part of the Crazy Tech Reviews mail call / unboxing viewer donations video. So that's going to be coming out probably between now and the 25th. So be on the lookout for that. And also, I may possibly get a video out before New Year's. I'm not sure. I tried last year, but I'm not sure if I'm going to this year or not. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. So I'd like to go ahead and thank everyone for watching up to this point. And with that out of the way, I'll see you guys all next time.